Welcome to another video review. Today I'm looking at the Antec High Current Gamer HCG-750 750W power supply. What's included with the power supply is a product overview, but remember that you can download the complete manual at antec.com/manuals for black screws and the power cord. The HCG or High Current Gamer series of power supplies are currently available in wattages ranging from 400 to 900. I'll be reviewing the 750 watt model. Now, what separates this power supply from most is its continuous power. So for example, the 750 watt model offers 750 watts of continuous output and can do it 100% of the time. Many other power supplies might boast 750 watts but can't offer 750 watts of continuous power. Now, how is this wattage determined? Well, to understand that, you need to know what rails are. Rails are basically well-regulated transformers which convert domestic current into the voltages that your computer system can use, and there are essentially two different rails, the 3.3/5 volt rail and the 12 volt rail. In this particular case, the approximate maximum peak output of the 3.3/5 volt rail is 150 watts and the 12 volt is 750 watts, which is essentially how the wattage of this power supply is determined. The 3.3/5 volt rail is responsible for the motherboard, memory, PCI cards, and so on, while the 12 volt rail is responsible for the hard drives, optical drives, fans, CPU, video cards, etc. It's also important to know the peak amps on each rail. The plus 3.3 volt and the plus 12 volt rails are 25 amps each, and there are 4 high current plus 12 volt rails, and each rail is 40 amps with a combined maximum output of 62.5 amps. Note though that these rails come with a high OCP or overcurrent protection set point, so in fact the plus 3.3 volt and the plus 5 volt rails are 38 amps each, and there are 4 high current plus 12 volt rails and each rail is 53 amps. There are a number of important things to remember when selecting a power supply. The first is wattage. Determine how much wattage you are going to require by the amount of hardware that you will be installing. Generally speaking, a medium to high-end gaming rig would require a 500 to 700 watt power supply. For a hardcore system, select a power supply that's around 800 watts. If, however, you are building an extreme gaming rig with a top-of-the-line multiple video card setup with lots of other hardware, select a power supply that's 1000 watts or greater. Second, it should be at or above 80% efficient at typical load. This power supply's efficiency is up to 88%. Third, it should meet the latest ATX and other current standards, environmental directives over voltage, under voltage, and other protections. This power supply meets all current standards. Fourth, I'd recommend choosing a power supply that has APFC or active power factor correction. Assist the power supply in being more efficient and therefore stable under load. APFC basically reduces total harmonics, corrects input voltage, and it allows for full input voltage range. Thankfully, this power supply has APFC. Fifth, there are 3 main certifications, ATI NVIDIA SLI, and ATI CrossFire. Many of today's high-end power supplies meet one or more of these certifications. This power supply is certified to meet the NVIDIA SLI, ATI CrossFire, and 80+ bronze requirements. Sixth, look for a power supply that uses Japanese capacitors. This ensures a much more reliable product than a power supply with low-grade capacitors. This power supply uses Japanese brand capacitors. Finally, get a power supply that has enough leads for your setup. Also, it's important to get a power supply with an excellent warranty, and this power supply comes with a 5-year warranty. This power supply has a black-red paint theme and looks quite nice. The housing is steel, and they include a quiet 135mm double ball bearing cooling fan with a recessed fan grill. This fan and the ventilation ensures that the inside of the power supply remains cool in almost any environment. Here's the power cord connection and the power switch. This power supply has lots of sleeved leads, but none of these leads are modular. Now, modular leads are fantastic because you only need to use the ones required for your particular setup, which reduces the cable mess inside the case and increases airflow. Finally, have a listen to the 135mm fan. Now, a lot of other power supplies on the market might boast a certain wattage. Let's just say the other power supply has 750 watts. Well, it might only be able to reach that maximum wattage for a certain amount of time. This power supply is different. The HCG, or High Current Gamer series of power supplies from Antec, well, I guess they offer true wattage, because if it's 750 watts that's on the power supply, you can max it out at 750 watts all the time if you choose to. Now, this power supply doesn't have modular leads, and it's not 80 plus gold or 80 plus platinum certified. But considering that this is a high current power supply, it looks great with that red black theme. Also, it has a nice quiet 135mm fan, and there's lots of sleeved leads. Well, this is a kick-ass product. Until next time, take care.